Hi, Becki. Thank you for joining me today.
Very welcome.
So we're going to talk about the How to Instructional Coaching platform and your experience as a user of the platform.
Okay.
So maybe we can start by you telling us a little bit about your current role, what area you teach in, how long you've been teaching for.
Okay, so my name's Becki Shaw. I teach at Hopwood College. I've been here approximately 13 going on 14 years. I teach within the hair and beauty department. My specialism is beauty therapy and media makeup, and I have taught from level 1 all the way up to and including level 4. I have also taught functional skills at entry level back in the day.
So my first question is, how did you feel when you were first introduced to the How To platform? Like, what were your initial impressions? What was your reaction?
So, honest opinion, my first impressions was, is this another CPD session that we're being asked to complete? As we went through the training session and I realised that this is a tool that I can see myself using, I started to get a little bit excited, wanting to try it out a little bit more, and it just escalated from there, really.
And was it introduced as part of a CPD session?
Yes, so as part of like an organisational CPD session, like a tour around the platform and how to use and how to navigate, and then we were allowed to go away, take that tool and delve into it. Once, like I said, once the CPD got started and I realised I'm not actually expected to do anything, this is there for me, got quite excited.
Okay, that's great. So you were introduced to the platform in 2019, is that
Just
right?
before COVID hit, yeah.
So since then, you've had a couple of years now to work with the platform. How do you feel about the platform now?
So the COVID year was obviously for everybody a difficult year.
Yeah.
And I think we didn't hit the ground running until we came back into the classroom. Although How To was there as a supportive tool to help learners through that journey. When we managed to get back into the classroom, it went from strength to strength, really. It was at first monthly usage and then weekly usage, and then it's now daily usage to the point where it's up on a screen constantly, particularly when I'm doing my planning. So I feel more now like it's a support structure. It's having a second pair of hands in the classroom with me to help me with my teaching and learning. It's a necessity. It's needed. It's a tool that is easily embedded, easily used. So yeah, I'm really enjoying using the platform.
Are there any techniques in particular that you tend to use, or do you have any favorites?
So this year I've been given my level 1s. So at the moment I'm really enjoying the behaviour techniques, because I was struggling at the beginning of the year with learners who, because of COVID, they're not used to being in a classroom environment, they're struggling being sat in a room. Our sessions are 3 hours long and they're used to an hour session. So behaviour management for me at the beginning of the year was a challenge. So I'm currently using the exit and entry routes, which I find really beneficial for the learners, because there's a really nice, clear structure of what my expectations are in the lesson. It's almost like a tick to-do list for the learners. And I feel that they're not overwhelmed with input, rather than me at the front of class saying, put your phones away, drinks away, get your books out. There's a nice, calm environment for the learner to come in, complete the task, tick off the exercise as they go. And they are responding really well to it, really well. The behaviour has improved at the start and at the end of the session.
So are there any features on the platform that you've been using?
Yeah, so we like as a hair and beauty department, with particular the notes and the nudges, we like to collaborate. We collaborate really well as a team, and we like to talk amongst ourselves of what strategies we've used, what's worked really well, how we've used it, so how we've embedded it into our practices as like little prompt reminders. So we'll use the platform, the nudges, to say, try this out, this worked really well for me today, because we don't always see each other in the staff room, we don't always have the time allocated to sit together. It's a nice tool to collaborate with, to stay in touch with people who are using the tools in your industry.
And do you use the collaborative tools outside of the hair and beauty department?
Yeah, so that's as a department, as an organisation, we have the community notices where we have the how to of the month. And the way we do that is within Hopwood Hall, we have teaching and learning champions. So these are people from individual departments that come together as a working party, and they will try out a how to. They'll give their feedback on that how to. If they're happy, then that will be the how to of the month for the whole organisation to try. So it's almost like a newsletter that comes out and it says, this is the how to, try this. So what I like to do if I want to try something new I've not used before is I will click onto peers that I know in different departments to see what they're using, and if they're using it and you know that's something that's working well in their lesson, then it should work well in mine as well. So
link in with people from other departments via the skills exchange.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's a great way of sort of scoping out what your peers are doing, and also what's the most popular one. So what's the most popular strategy being used within our organisation? If it's popular, it's working, it's being embedded, want to try it, and it becomes like on Facebook where you've got the likes and everything. Well, if everyone else is using it, I want to have a go. I want to try it as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'd like to move on to impact. You mentioned earlier something around the impact that it's had on you as a teacher.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear maybe a little bit more about that, and then maybe the impact that it's had on your students in the classroom.
Yeah, of course. I feel that this tool in particular, it's fantastic for helping you with time management. It just reduces your planning time so much. The planning is done for you, everything's there, everything's prepared. It's just implementing it into your lesson. So for me, the biggest thing is getting that time back and finding it's not a hindrance, it's a help. It's something that helps me, something I want to use. A lot of times with certain CPD sessions, you find, oh, I'm having to tick boxes. No, this is for me. This is a tool that works well for my classroom, for my teaching practices. And it helps me to, like I said, prepare my planning at such a quick rate.
And in terms of the students that you're working with, can you see impact there?
Yeah, I mentioned the behaviour with my level 1. So as a whole, it does have a massive impact on the teaching, learning and assessment. For example, we're hair and beauty, so we have to abide by a certain dress code, a dress policy, which is a reflection of industry standards, and that's picked up in our qualification criteria. And it's one of the biggest things in hair and beauty. We're constantly policing it, and you're not in your uniform, you're not dressed appropriately. And sometimes that us just saying it isn't having the impact it needs. Whereas the one we've been using recently at the beginning of the academic year is 2 medals and a mission. And what we do, that we use this strategy in hair and beauty, we flip it onto the learners. So the learners give the 2 medals and the missions, and they're getting that feedback from a peer where it feels a little bit more valued. And we have seen that the learners are taking on board those responses. We are listening to that feedback and discussing it between themselves to the point where even after that activity, they're pointing out, oh, you've not got this on today, and don't forget you've got to have that. So it has a fantastic impact.
If you were talking to a teacher that hadn't used the platform before, what advice would you have for teachers?
I suppose it's to take the time to have a look at the platform, navigate your way around it, understand that this is not an added extra onto your to-do list. This is something that's going to help you in your teaching practice, particularly for teachers who are new to the profession and they don't have that toolbox of strategies. On the same token, teachers that have been in the industry a long time, and those strategies just aren't working as effectively as they once did. But no, it would be, advice-wise, it would be to have a go, try, and share good practice. And we as a department, we love talking about what we've used and how we've used it. Like I said before, the collaboration, it is an enjoyable tool to use, and it's for you.
Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us about the platform today.
Thank you, Anne. Take care.